one of the world's top ad men, to create a series of campaigns and TV commercials to convince the guerrillas to surrender and the Colombian people to accept them back.
This gives us the chance to apply our skills to something that is fundamentally important to us, to our kids, to our country.
In December 2010, they launched Operation Christmas, which they filmed for commercials that played on local TV. At great risk, Black Hawk helicopters carried two of Sokolov's colleagues, led by Colombian Special Forces, into rebel territory. They found 9 75-foot trees near guerrilla strongholds and decorated them with Christmas lights. Each tree was rigged with a motion detector that lit up the tree and a banner when the guerrillas walked by at night. It read, "If Christmas can come to the jungle, you can come home. Demobilize. At Christmas, everything is possible."
What we did was try to make coming back home for Christmas an important thing. And we knew that if we put out these Christmas trees with that sign up there, we would touch the hearts of the guerrilla, because my heart was touched. And they went and they did it.
And it worked.
And it worked incredibly well.
He said 331 guerrillas, roughly 5% of the rebel force at the time, demobilized. They came out of the jungle and gave up. This is spectacular.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Like most Colombians, Sokolov was born into war and grew up here in Bogota without knowing a day of peace.
In the beginning, what was the purpose of the campaign?
It was always exactly the same. To mobilize as many guerrillas as possible.
As with any ad campaign, they began with research. Their focus group, former guerrillas. Sokolov's team tracked them down and interviewed them.
We found the common denominator of all those stories is that a guerrilla is as much a prisoner of his organization than the people he holds hostage.
There was no way out.
There was no way out. And it certainly softened me up. When I heard these stories, I said, these poor people.
And you never expected that you would feel that way?
I didn't expect them to be so human.
But how do you reach your target audience when they're hiding in 150,000 square miles of jungle? The rivers they discovered are the highways of the jungle. So they launched their second Christmas campaign, Operation Rivers of Light. They asked people in nearby villages to send messages and gifts to the guerrillas, which were placed inside capsules that glowed in the dark, then floated down the river.
Just put them there, and these lit up at night, and
wow.
When you see that beautiful thing coming down the river, you can't help but being touched by it.
How many lights like that did you send?
Almost 7,000.
One of the messages was from Colombia's president, Juan Manuel Santos, who was just awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts to end the war.
And you did this with the Colombian military?
Absolutely. We couldn't have done it without them.
It humanizes them as much as you've tried to humanize the guerrillas.
Exactly.
Sokolov and his military partners never let up. They rolled out dozens of campaigns, each uniquely designed to show the guerrillas the way out. With beams of light, stickers on trees, and voices of ex-guerrilla leaders booming across the jungle. But no voice was more powerful than their mothers.
She's waiting for you. She's been waiting for you for at least 20 years in some cases.
In 2013, Sokolov found 27 mothers of guerrillas. They gave his agency photos of their sons and daughters as young children that only they could recognize. During Christmas, flyers with those photos were placed all over the jungle.
And the message was, before you were a guerrilla, you were my child. So come home, because I will always be waiting for you at Christmas time.
We call that going for the jugular.
Yes.
Jose, because, wow.
218 people with this campaign gave up their weapons and came home and stopped shooting. So whatever number you get out is people that you don't have to fight.
What was your most successful campaign?
Football.
Football?
Football. Always football. Football moves this country. Football is our passion.
It was a passion shared by the guerrillas, who often stopped fighting during matches. When Colombia hosted the Under-20 World Cup in 2011, Sokolov kicked off a new campaign. Soldiers armed with thousands of soccer balls entered stadiums, and players, celebrities, and fans all signed them. They loaded them onto helicopters and threw them out over the jungle, each with a sticker that said, "Demobilize, let's play again." Over 8 years, 18,000 guerrillas put down their weapons and came home, in large part because of Sokolov's campaigns. The ads helped bring the FARC to the negotiating table in 2012. During the peace talks, Sokolov said guerrilla leaders asked the government to stop airing his commercials. Soon after, they agreed to a ceasefire.
Colombians started feeling confident, started feeling that we could do whatever we wanted. We started feeling secure and safe. The fear started going away. And as we went outside and the world came here, it was infectious.
The energy.
The energy was incredible. And that is what the world sees now of Colombia.
Colombia's spirit, once buried by war, has risen again. In the last 10 years, international investment is up over 100%. Tourism, 240%. Not long ago, it was too dangerous to go out at night. Now clubs in Bogota are bursting with locals and foreigners.
And that is Bogota, which is probably not the best example of transformation. Medellin, Cali, all these other cities.
Even more?
If you had been there 10 years ago and you go today, you would say, this is a completely different planet.
Medellin was the last place tourists would have come. At the height of the drug wars, it was the murder capital of the world. 6,000 a year. Now, it is the jewel of Colombia. Modern, cultural, reborn. It's been hailed as a model of urban innovation. Mostly because of this man, Sergio Fajardo.
We saw people thanking you for transforming their lives and for what you've done. What does that mean to you?
I'm very proud because we have shown that hope can be built and things can be changed.
Fajardo was a math professor, a political novice. When he ran for mayor in 2003, without bodyguards, he dared to walk the poorest and most dangerous streets, promising to end the violence and reunite the city. He won in a landslide.
What's the power of violent people? Fear. And when you feel fear, you are diminished as a human being. You are subjugated. Divided. There is no sense of community. So we have to put the pieces together of our society. And we have to connect physically and mentally.
They connected the city through its public transportation system.
So now we head to the metro?
We started our tour on a metro train that took us to Comuna 13, a slum that was once the city's bloody epicenter, where tens of thousands who fled the war now live.
This is ridiculously steep.
Because it sits on the steep hilltop,
Even for us, it's steep.
Fajardo's urban planners took a bold step. They built escalators up the side of the mountain, the equivalent of 28 stories. If you wanted to build hope, this was a good place to start.
This is a symbol. Things can be done in the poorest part of town.
Beautifully designed, decorated, and landscaped, the escalators have literally lifted the spirit of the community. Fajardo convinced the wealthy and the poor to contribute to rebuilding Medellin. From that came a cultural center, science museum, and botanical garden.
This was run down. It was a place that people wouldn't come. They would be afraid of coming out to this neighborhood.
Especially after dark.
Most of the day.
To get kids off the streets, he poured money into education with new schools and libraries.
You built a $4 million building
Right.
in the middle of One of the most violent slums
right.
in Medellin.
He said the most beautiful things for the homeless people, which is a message of dignity. Because usually we say, well, if they are poor, whatever they get, that's plenty, because they have nothing. We said, no. The most beautiful things in this town should be coming to these places.
No symbol has helped more than Medellin's cable cars. They soar over its mountain slums, carrying 40,000 people a day, connecting the poor with jobs and opportunities in the city's wealthier neighborhoods.
And these places were pretty isolated before that.
It was very difficult to get in here. You will never have someone from that part of town coming in here for any reason. And now, most people who come to Medellin, they will want to come here to ride the cable car, to see what we did in here, and to get a feeling of transformation.
Colombia's transformation remains a work in progress. Drugs and violence are still present. But after several failed attempts, the country now has a peace deal with the FARC that was just passed by its Congress.
The benefit of doing it?
And Jose Miguel Sokolov, he was publicly recognized by his client, Colombia's Ministry of Defense, with its highest honor that's rarely awarded to civilians, for his creative advertising campaigns to help end the war.
Normally in advertising, you always want to see your clients coming back. You never want to get rid of them.
Yeah,
but in this case...
Here, the object of this campaign is to not have a client. Is to end this war and no need for any more of that.
So they don't need you.
So they don't need us anymore.